Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.
From St. Louis Public Radio. This is St. Louis on the Air.
So you think this is a real perception problem? People aren't aware that if they were just one block away, they could find that spot they want.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And we had a parking analysis done a couple of years ago that identified that there are spaces available even during the peak hours. You'll know right where to go even before you leave your house. And that's not just for people in Kirkwood, but people around the St. Louis Metro who come to downtown Kirkwood can check to see, oh, there's plenty of spaces right within a block of where I'm looking to go.
I'm Sarah Fensky. Today, the city of Kirkwood kicks off a new pilot program and a new parking app. It's called Park Kirkwood, and it's in partnership with a local tech company called Fybr. Fybr's Chief Commercial Officer, Matt Willenbrink, explained the concept this way.
Basically what it does is it lets citizens and drivers find real-time parking availability. So in those 275 spaces that we have monitored, drivers will be able to see within 1 or 2 seconds of the time that a parking space changes state. So when a driver pulls in within a couple seconds, the app will tell them that that space is occupied. And when a driver leaves those spaces, it lets them know as well that that space is available to park in.
Now, Fybr has provided these services to cities around the U.S., including San Francisco and Los Angeles. But this is the first time a city in the St. Louis Metro has signed on. Matt Willenbrink suggested the data generated by this pilot could help Kirkwood better manage its parking spaces.
Here in St. Louis, most of our parking spaces, aside from some areas in Clayton and downtown, are usually free parking. But a lot of cities use this type of data to do a bunch of different things that helps them optimize their parking inventory. In heavily demand areas, they can change pricing to maximize available spaces. They can lower prices in areas that are lower utilized to help maximize the occupancy and utilization of those spaces. They can also do other interesting things like demand and dynamic pricing. For Kirkwood, they have a unique challenge where there's a number of blocks where they're always occupied or citizens feel that parking's a problem. So this helps them to see where parking's available in real time. They can find spaces faster and reduce the amount of time they circle and ultimately reduce traffic congestion.
And Fybr's Chief Commercial Officer, Matt Willenbrink, said that poorly managed parking does come with a real cost.
A lot of cities actually see that about 30% of their traffic congestion comes from people circling looking for parking spaces. And obviously that's wasted time for drivers, that's wasted gas, that's additional emissions. There was a study done by a company called INRIX a few years ago, and they found that about 70% of drivers were actually avoiding going to stores and doing shopping trips based off of the parking availability exclusively. So not only does it mean that there's more of a problem for drivers to find parking, but it also means that local businesses are seeing, less customers than they potentially could from just parking inventory issues alone.
And that is Matt Willenbrink of Fybr, which is based in Chesterfield. And here to discuss how this will work for the municipality of Kirkwood is Russell Hawes. He is the city's chief administrative officer. Russell, welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
So, Russell, how bad is the parking situation in certain parts of Kirkwood?
Well, there's a perception that Kirkwood has very few parking spaces in its downtown that are available at peak hours, which, is usually a Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday type situation. We really felt that this partnership with Fybr would help, would allow us to change the perception of where parking is available by making this app available to citizens to identify where there are empty spaces in the downtown and how close they could actually be to their destination. While you may not be able to park directly in front of a restaurant that you want to go to, you can certainly park within a block or so of it and there are spaces available even during those peak hours.
So you think this is a real perception problem? People aren't aware that if they were just one block away, they could find that spot they want.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And we had a parking analysis done a couple of years ago that identified that there are spaces available even during the peak hours. We felt that this really fit well with what we were trying to convince the people who visit downtown Kirkwood of, is that you can find a space. The app allows the spaces that are open to appear on your phone, and you'll know right where to go even before you leave your house. And that's not just for people in Kirkwood, but people around the St. Louis Metro who come to downtown Kirkwood can check to see, oh, there's plenty of spaces right within a block of where I'm looking to go.
Do you think this has hurt Kirkwood businesses in that downtown area, this whole perception problem?
I don't know that it's hurt them necessarily, but I think that we can improve their level of activity by just making it more convenient for users of our downtown parking.
Mm-hmm. So Matt Willenbrink mentioned that they have partnered with a lot of bigger cities, and he said they'd been looking for a local partner. Normally, this type of system does cost money. I understand that's not the case for Kirkwood. How were you able to get this for free?
Well, we worked with Fybr and Matt to identify a way that basically they're going to be using our location as a showcase for people who come to their headquarters, which is in Chesterfield. They can take them to downtown Kirkwood and show them how it works and show the app and drive around the city and send them back to whatever city they're from with better information on real-time parking utilization in Kirkwood to show how it could be applied to their cities. So it's really a win-win for the city of Kirkwood and for Fybr, because they now have a demonstration project for prospective clients with their company.
Russell, I'm going to go to the phone lines here. We have Eric calling from St. Louis with a question. Eric, hi, you're on St. Louis on the air.
Thanks a lot. This is great that Kirkwood's kind of leading the edge in St. Louis. It's already happening in Kansas City and around the country. Are you going to use your Fybr grid for other kinds of things, like our farmer that guest who was just on, the electrical company, to help develop a smart electrical grid like they have in Chattanooga? Are any of those things in the works?
And Eric, thank you for that question. I was not aware that's part of what they're doing, and I don't know if that's on your radar, Russell.
Yes, it is, absolutely. First of all, in Kirkwood, we have an electric company, Kirkwood Electric, that is separate from Ameren. It's our own legacy electric company from way back when. We still have it, and they're very forward-thinking. And this installation is the beginning of what we would consider a smart city type approach, particularly in our downtown area. We installed other aspects of that earlier with the Kirkwood Road traffic signal project, where we have actuated traffic signals and computer controls between those signals as people go down Lindbergh and into Kirkwood and exit south into Sunset Hills. All the traffic signals are coordinated and connected, so that's another smart city aspect. We're also working on Wi-Fi installations in our downtown that go along with this installation as well.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you for that question, Eric. That was very interesting. And Russell, as you're looking at this app, this all rolls out now, and I know you're really hoping to deal with this perception problem, let people know where this parking is. It's only going to work if people use it. Are you going to be launching a campaign to try to get people to download this app?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, we appreciate the time on the air today. Hopefully people will go to the iOS store or the Android store. They can download Park Kirkwood. That's the name of the app. Starting today. It went on sale. It's on sale, but on availability today. It's a free app. And all you have to do is just enter a little bit of information, create an account, and we will have everything set up so you can see exactly what spaces are open and when. It'll even route you to the specific area of downtown that you're looking for if you're not from the Kirkwood area or wherever you live. It'll tie right in with your routing maps on your iPhone or Android. So it's a very exciting opportunity here to expand downtown Kirkwood to the masses a little bit more. And it allows us to not just change perceptions, but for us to identify how our parking is being utilized and identify if there are areas where we can improve as a city to make more available in other areas. There's been a lot of talk about another parking garage downtown and things along those lines.
So this gives you a chance to get the data you need to know your best move. This sounds like a great win-win.
Yes, it's definitely data-driven. We like to, in Kirkwood, make our decisions with the best data that we have available.
And it sounds like this is going to be a great way to do that. So Russell Hawes, Chief Administrative Officer for Kirkwood, thank you for joining us today.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations. And leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thanks.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.